Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to you. My name is Emmanuel Edonu, and this is the Empowered. With me, I'm joined by my colleague, that is
Kobzari Desire.
Today, we have the singular honor to host the former Guild President of Uganda Christian University, who is going to walk us through his academic career to his professional life. Joining us on the call is His Excellency Ddumba Timothy. And first, would love to recognize the presence of our Director of Student Affairs, Ms. Pamela Tumewaze, who is on this call. Madam, you're welcome. Please unmute and say hi to the viewers outside there.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be here with you. And I'm greeting all the viewers and of course, our very own His Excellency, Sir, His Excellency Timothy. You're very welcome. We love being with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So in the next segment, we'll be having an interaction with the most able Guild President, Ddumba Timothy. And to usher us into this conversation, I will allow my colleague to pose the first question to him, and we shall have the conversation ongoing.
Thank you so much, Edonu. Timothy, we are glad to have you here with us today. And the first thing we're going to ask from you is that you're going to tell us who you are, basically. Just introduce yourself to us to let our viewers know who you are and what you're doing. Yes. Please unmute and talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Desire and Edonu and our Dosa, Miss Pamela. Thank you for having me here. Praise the Lord. My name is Ddumba Timothy. I am the former Guild President of Uganda Christian University. I was the 25th to be specific. I pursued a Bachelor's of Science in Information Technology during my study at UCU. And I was blessed to graduate as the best male student with a first class honors. And now I'm still a student of AI engineering, but I'm also practicing as a data scientist. Do you want more, or should I keep it there?
Please.
You have more for us?
If you have more for us, please, you can still unpack who
Okay.
Ddumba is.
Well, I think those were more of a brief background of my history and also what I'm doing right now. Technically, I'm a person of technology. I'm very passionate about technology, but also I'm a very passionate leader. I'm a leader first and foremost. I love to serve. And so I am the patron of the Fuel movement. That's one of the things that I'm very passionate about. A movement that started right there at UCU through a program during my student days, and now we are expanding. And basically what we're trying to do is to transform the leadership paradigm across this nation and the world.
Wow, wow, wow. That's good. I'm so fascinated by the fact that you love leadership. And so before we dive into your leadership journey, briefly tell us why you chose Uganda Christian University as your institution to pursue your professional career.
Well, that's a funny story, and one that I sought to change when I became a student. And I'm glad that UCU is now on a different trajectory. Now, by the time I was joining, that was in 2021, and UCU was I didn't know which university I would go to. I didn't really have it in mind. So it was my father who suggested that I go to UCU, and I was a bit hesitant because I didn't know much about UCU. But that all changed when I joined and I saw how excellent, professional, clean, and beautiful everything is, and I soaked in the culture. But that's how I ended up at UCU doing IT. But it wasn't my choice to begin with. It wasn't my choice. I wanted to go to maybe MOOBS, really any other university. I just didn't know much about UCU, and the little I knew was UCU is strict, it's too Christian, just bishops study from there. And those are the things that we sought to change during our time as students, and it's changing, so I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, by the even me when I was joining, I knew I was joining a school where I'm going to interact with sons of reverends, bishops, just like Desire.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And now for me, what really was in the back of my mind was, studying with the privileged kids. And I'm quite sure you're not among them. So me hearing that you wanted to go to MOOBS, okay. Anyway,
Well, yeah,
glad that you chose the center of excellence in the heart of Africa. Desire,
yeah.
I do not know. Maybe you'll share with us your personal story why you chose UC at some time. Please,
Don't worry.
maybe first
Any-
have a conversation with Timothy.
Yes. Timothy, so you told
Yeah.
us in introduction that you were the best male student at the last graduation. Is it that you have always been a first class person from way back? Just tell us more about that.
Well, another interesting question, because just as I never planned to go to UCU, I also didn't plan to get a first class. Generally, it has always been an interesting journey, really. So when I joined IT in a university that I didn't plan to join, all I wanted to be was guild president. Being a student wasn't. I was just going to be. I just wanted to participate in class and just make sure that nothing in class stopped me from becoming guild president. So I knew that I found out that you needed a minimum GPA to qualify to be guild president. So I'm like, okay, well, that means I would have to do well in class. And I also knew that since I wanted to become guild, I needed to be exemplary in class. And so that made me an active student. I always used to sit at the front and ask teachers questions. And then the students who wanted to get a first class, because they saw me asking many questions, put me in that discussion groups of people who wanted to get first classes. And I really didn't want, but I ended up there. And so step by step, one thing led to another. Like getting a first class really is committing to the day-to-day studying. Just be present. Just be present. So after my first semester, I got a GPA of 4.4. It was a 4.4, just on the boundary of first
Oh,
class. And I was
man.
like, wait, okay, so I have to maintain this somehow. And that's how the journey began.
4.4. That was amazing.
I know.
I,
And
ma-
for
I
you
managed I managed to get it just this semester.
Ah, as a
We've
as
not
a
even
speaker of all
you,
students in the country, you've got a first class. I like
well,
that. I really do.
I want you to share with me your two thoughts on from being a participant to being the president. What has been your biggest influence and what has been your driving passion to see to it that you stop that life of being a mere participant and you develop that urge to be the guild president? Other than only grades and having the passion to lead, what other things have been influencing you in this whole vast journey that you've been having?
Well, I don't know. That's a large question. It's a large question. First of all, I have to say that I've always wanted to be a guild president from P4.
Oh,
Yes, yeah,
amazing.
from P4. I decided that I will be president at every stage that I reach in primary, in high school, and in university. So the only question was which schools I would go to, but I just knew that wherever I'll go, I will want to serve people in that capacity. And that's because when I was young, my dad painted this picture that the president was the one in charge of making sure that the adults are happy and are comfortable. Because I used to ask him that if for us the kids cry to you, who do you cry to when things are not going right? Who is in charge of the roads and all these different things? And said there's someone called the president. So I was like, I want to be the president for my people. So like you can start at school. And so that's how the journey began. So even though I didn't know which university I would go to, I knew that I would want to be president. Now, when I reached UCU, how the transition from a participant to going on to become president was slow. It was slow. First and foremost, it needed me to soak in the culture of UCU and get surrounded by great people. I remember the day I first met you, Edonu, and all these different people in the different circles of life. I had to socialize with different people from different courses to get to understand them better. I had to start going for fellowships and sales for my spiritual growth to begin. UCU is where I grew spiritually. Before UCU, I was just a normal Christian. But I knew that in order to serve these people, I had to understand what motivates them, what moves them. And then, well, in class, I knew that I wanted to be president. So I knew that I wouldn't have time to read outside, or because I needed to socialize and get to know people. So I made sure that I asked questions all the time. I would not let the lecturer go out of the class without me understanding. I had it in my mind that to me, I was the only person they were teaching. And that helped me a lot. I used to, sometimes, of course, these questions would irritate my classmates, but they grew to love me at the end of the day. So that is how that's how the different stages of change took place.
And it's interesting how you portray it outside there that it's from UCU that you had your spiritual growth, and it's something that really has stood out for me. And I would love to ask Zaya. I'm not here to question your spiritual life, but you've heard from
Yes.
at Uganda Christian University is where
really
he
is.
grew. He started attending fellowship, going for sale.
And I'm actually very sure that very many people say this out there, because this is a place that really, really builds you, even in ways you do not expect. It will build you. Like, there's nowhere you're going to go when there's community worship, when there's all these fellowships, you'll always find yourself at least coming closer to God.
Anyway, one thing I know
Yes.
about Uganda Christian University is that professionalism and character is in our DNA. And that is something that I'm so proud of joining this university. Yes, Desire.
Timothy, I remember you saying that you were really passionate about technology, and that is one thing that I got from you. What more things do you enjoy doing apart from technology? What other things do you really love to do?
That's a scary question, because as I've grown older, I've found myself enjoying less and less things. But technology, apart from technology, and generally the thing is solving problems. That's what I love to do. I love solving problems. As Edonu remembers, I like saying that bit. What are we doing? What are we changing? And usually, technology is the biggest avenue to solve problems. So that's how I became interested in technology, and now data science and AI, and leadership, because leadership is also about, if a leader is not solving problems, they are creating them. So solving problems is a thing that I live for. I just want to change the places that I am in. But aside from those things, if I'm not solving problems, maybe if I do enjoy watching competitions. For example, Formula One races and all those different things. I love research. I do a lot of research about, I don't know, human history, civilization, and all those different things. I want to know a little bit about everything. So I do enjoy that.
Interesting. Desire.
Yes.
He just mentioned
yes.
Formula One, and I remember over the weekend, one of my favorite drivers, Lewis Hamilton, was disqualified. Breaks my heart,
Yeah.
but I like the fact that you're watching competitions, because when you watch them, they keep on challenging you. Now, Timothy,
Yes.
I want you to share with me your campaign journey, from the campaign to the planning to the execution. First, walk us through that journey that you had, because I remember, just like you said, the very first time we met, I remember it was at around 7 p.m. And that's how your whole journey started on my end. So first tell us, as a president, from the planning, campaigning, and the execution, see that you're this top guy up there. How did you go about it?
That's a long journey. I'm going to have to run you through it, because if I walk you through it, we will spend the entire day on this call.
You
First,
can just give us just some 2/3 of it.
yes. first, as you two may know already, we hadn't had a non-law guild president in a long time. So whenever I would tell people that I want to be guild president or I'm planning to be guild president, they're like, oh, okay. So when they would never even ask the course I'm doing because they would presume I'm doing law. But when they find out, whenever they found out that I wasn't doing law, they were like, that's a little bit, it's not possible. How are you going to do that? Then they would give me all the reasons why a non-lawyer cannot win. The numbers of the law school, these different things are things you have to know, constitution, this, constitution, that. So it was really discouraging. And also they gave me the massive sizes of budgets one needed to become guild president, and I didn't have all those resources. I really did not have all those resources. Actually, the semester before I ran for president was the most broke I've ever been. And I remember calling my younger brother the day campaign started because the advisors, they told me that before you go into a presidential race, you need a minimum of 25 million.
Oh my God.
I
25
talked
million.
to my brother the
That's
day the
insane.
campaign started. So he's like, have you raised the 25 million? I'm like, well, for now I have 75,000. That was at the start of campaign, 75,000. And no one knew but me and my campaign and my finance manager. Otherwise, the campaign manager didn't know. Everyone else didn't know. We just had to go for the goal. So planning was key. I knew that I was short on resources,
Yeah.
but what I was sure of is what I wanted to do for the students of UCU. I knew and I was sure about what I wanted to contribute. And so I started months before, weeks before, just serving and talking and understanding these people. That even when the campaigns came, I knew that even though I didn't have all the money that was required, I knew that I knew what they needed. And that's what mattered most. And so to just make it into a summary, yeah, I rejected all those popular campaign groups that everyone needed to pass through. I went my own way because I knew that I knew what the students needed and sure that God was on my side.
Oh, interesting.
That's a very good thing, Timothy. Thank you. Wow, I can see some accolades in your back. What are they about? You're already an excellent student. Could you tell us what that is? And then
Well,
also the planning process went well, so you became president. What are the very good things you enjoyed about being president? What are good things that you'd say you got in office?
Oh, Banas Timothy.
well, now that you have insisted, at the back here, I have a few awards,
Yes.
just a few of the multiple that I do have, and I'm blessed. I am blessed. So this is for being the overall best male
Okay.
at my graduation. That's the award. This is particularly from the UCU Alumni Association. It's the one that awards the best male and the best female student every year. And right here is this is the Ballon d'Or. It's the Ballon d'Or.
Took the
As I would
Ballon.
like to,
Yeah.
the Ballon d'Or, and I
Yes.
have my government, the 25th Guild government, to thank for this one. It's awarded to, the Pinnacle Award is awarded to, in their eyes, the best guild official at that time. So I was,
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
thank you. And Edonu was part of the government. And
Yes.
for your government to vote the president, it seems obvious, but it actually hasn't happened in many years. So I'm really, really humbled and grateful to have got this award. Yeah.
Did I ask you about what are some of the good things about being a guild president? I know there's a very big misconception outside there that when you're guild president, you have money and so forth. So tell us, is it true? Do you have a car? Tell us things of being a president.
Well, the number one advantage for me
Yes.
for being president is that the people that you meet. For example, our Dosa is on the call here. We would never have been as close as we are now if I were not guild president. And
True.
and you, the speaker of all students, who am I that I have you on speed dial? Yeah, and desire, a full former minister of finance. And
Yes.
I don't do any of your courses,
Mm.
but because of being president, I can meet people, all walks of life. So that was the biggest advantage for me. The vice chancellor, I can go into UCU and every office I have a friend.
Mm.
Every faculty I have a friend. Every department, the ground workers, 7 stars, those people, we are still the best of friends, even to this date. And I wouldn't have been able to get those friends if I were not guild president. When it comes to the perks and the privileges, well, I don't have you're not given a car. I don't have a car. However, you're given transportation the moment you need it. And in you see you cars. You see you cars are not like other university cars. Every
Wow.
other student, they know that they know when UCU arrives in a place. So when you're guild president of UCU,
I will agree with you. I'll agree with you.
yes,
Branding
exactly.
experience.
Yes.
Exactly. Top performance branding experience. So they give us wonderful these Toyota Hilux cars, leather seats and everything. You arrive in style whenever you need it as president. So and also the accommodation. I especially loved the accommodation. I'm a person who I may be a public figure, but I'm a private person as well. So I really love I love the spaces that I'm in, and UCU gives their guild president and vice or female guild president wonderful accommodation, and I really, really treasured the moments I was in that room.
Wow. Interesting, interesting. I wish I knew. It's just that it's too late. I can't be the guild president. But after hearing all the good things comes about being a guild president, I'm now left with a very big.
Late.
It's too late, but it's okay. It's okay. It's there.
Late. We can really speak of all students.
Guys, okay.
The
Let's
speaker of all
focus on
students, I don't know why he's
the-
complaining. Don't they give you guys accommodation at
No.
UNSA?
We don't have accommodation. And that's a story for another day that I will share with you. But I know what Desire is trying to pass out there, but I won't fall for a trap. Desire,
Yes.
do you still have what things you want to ask my president? Because I feel like this is
Can go on and on because we are with the president.
yes.
Anyway, Timothy, I'm going to ask you one more question now. Who do you attribute your success as president to mainly? Who were the main figures in this journey?
Well, there are four. I always categorize them into 4 groups. Number 1, God. God, and I don't say that as a placeholder or as a filler word. Well, people all the time they be like, can't thank God. God has really been number 1, and he has been transformational in this journey. I have to tell you that all my life I've been a great athlete at one point. I've been a great leader at one point. I've been a great academician at another. But I've never been all at the same time. And that was through Philippians 4:13. It's what unlocked my spirit when Christ, that word, that verse, that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So for me to be able to come number 5 in the annual tuition run, no one mentioned that. I think you guys want to forget. I don't know, you may have been jealous, but coming number 5 in the tuition run, mind you, number 1, 2, 3, 4 were UCU long distance runners. So I came right after, meaning I'm waiting for UCU to reach out for me to sign a contract to run for them as well. They are just delayed.
No,
and then
on the call we have the director of all student affairs, and the sports sector falls directly on in her department.
Wonderful.
I'm very sure when we give her a chance to speak, she might consider recruiting you into that
You will
team.
get a job after this.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Perhaps
Yeah,
you could
let
be
that
one of our ambassadors outside there.
yeah, let that tie not mislead you. I can run for real. And my academics, first class, and also being the president of the 25th Guild government, a government that I tasked with being the greatest of all time, and they delivered. And all that I couldn't do alone at the same time. So I really thank God is the only one that has been able to make me do that in a space of 1 year, or 3, you could say. Number 2 is family. If you don't have a supportive family, you don't expect to go far in any place. So I had a supportive family that were always there to advise and to walk alongside me. Number 3 is a great team. 2 of you are seated right there. The other is in Parara attending a conference. That's the DOSA. And the other is behind the camera. That is Richard.
Yes.
At UCU, there is a great team. Honestly, if you want to be great in UCU, it's easy because other people are ready to help you become great, regardless if you're first year. I had a great department. My head of department, my lecturers, we were all part of the same goal. They wanted me to be guild president. When I told them I wanted to, they made sure that I understood the concepts. The offices that I worked with when I was guild president wanted to ensure that my manifesto gets executed. My guild officials wanted to be the best guild government as well, and they were all brilliant in their capacity. One of them is the speaker of all students. The other was also the best student when they graduated. Most of them have graduated with first classes. People are doing great things, and it wasn't so hard if you surround yourself with people who want to do great and want to help you do great. It's so easy. So a great team, and that's truly, I'm so thankful for the great team. Then lastly is discipline. And I think that the fourth part, because God is outside of me, family is outside of me, a great team is outside of me. You can maybe search for God, you can be intentional with your family, you can be intentional about surrounding yourself with great people, but with discipline, you really have to be intentional to work on your own discipline. I thank God that He enabled me to be disciplined. You can't be so disciplined if you're not healthy, if you're sick, or if you're defaulting on tuition. I've ever defaulted on tuition in my second sem of first year. And those things really put you off. They really put you off. So discipline as the last thing was really helped me do all these things. I'm a person who I set goals and I go for them. And in my room, I try to meditate and calm down and try to divide my time between, I give a few hours to reading, then hours to socializing, then hours to keep fit, then to eat well, to sleep well. I sleep well. I make sure that I do everything as it's supposed to be done whenever I can anyway. So that discipline was a critical part.
Wow, amazing. To our viewers outside there, you have just heard from Timothy. He says he attributes his success to God, family, the team, and discipline. I think I will concur with you and agree on those attributes that you have shared with us today. But before you go off this call, I just want you to share briefly to someone who is ambitious, who wants to become a guild president outside there. It might be at Uganda Christian University or any other university outside there. This could, this message you send out to them could inspire them to push them to greater heights. Please, you could share with us all today about their ambition.
Well, to summarize it, I would say that to the first years, if you're watching this and you're in your first year, like I did, actually, I'm so glad. I'm so happy that the Dean of Students, that the Director of Students Affairs has started this initiative, because when I was in my first year, I went over YouTube trying to look for videos of people who are guild presidents in UCU, trying to listen to that. But those videos were not there. They were not enough. And I'm glad that this will add to those few, and in the future, they will become many. So if you're a first year or in your second year and you want to serve this institution as guild president, number one, take it to the Lord in prayer. Take it to the Lord in prayer. He will show you how to do it. Many people have ideas on how to do it, but only the Lord knows everything. And He knows the changing times. Your time is different. Number two, consult. There are a number of people who have done it and they have served in different capacities. Consult with Adosa, consult with student leaders like Edonu and Desire, consult with your classmates, learn. And finally, what do you want to contribute? Want to serve, want to add so bad that the fear, the shyness of talking in front of a crowd, the shyness of telling people you want to stand, the shyness of not knowing how to handle campaigns will fade in the face of what you actually want to contribute, that you don't want to walk out of those gates without adding those things that you want to add. With those three things, you can build from there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Timothy. Thank you for that advice. I'm sure it's going to help someone out there. I'm very sure, because people are willing to go for positions, but they do not have the right advice and they do not know what to do. Thank you so much for that. Before we close, you made a decision to become a leader, a president in P4, and you've carried on that decision for a very long time. So what next? Do we expect you to be our next president of the country?
That's an interesting one.
What is your next, what are you looking at next after this?
Well, let's say that I am preparing myself every single day, and everything that I do is for the service of the Lord's people. So when it becomes apparent concerning where I would be needed and at what time, I'll be there and I'll be ready. So if that looks like the president of the nation, trust me, I will be ready and I'll be there. If it's at a different call, I will be.
We are here to support you.
We're here, we're behind you. We're
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We have been delighted to host the 25th Guild President of Uganda Christian University, His Excellency Ddumba Timothy, who has been sharing with us his journey at Uganda Christian University. You too can be like Ddumba Timothy.
Or even better.
Or even better. Yeah.
Yes.
For example, my colleague here, finance minister, he had a very good score in her tenure in government. And of course, not forgetting the speaker of all students in Uganda.
We can't forget you.
Of course, you can't. So Timothy, thank you for sharing with us today. We are so humbled and grateful to have you on this call. And before you give us your parting shots, I would love to relinquish the floor to the Dean of Students, who is behind this amazing initiative known as the Empowered. In 2 minutes, please unmute and speak to us, then we'll call it a wrap. Until again.
Thank you very much. One thing didn't happen. These two hosts didn't tell you who actually they are and the programs they study. So I'm going to request them to reintroduce themselves. So we'll start with a lady, Desire.
Thank you. I already said my name, I'm Desire. I'm a student of Civil and Environmental Engineering in my 4th year final semester.
And she's the former Minister of Finance.
Exactly.
I need to stress that she's good with the numbers and she's good with the money. And she was an MP as well. So she's good in there. Okay, over to you, Emmanuel.
She's a game. Well, my beautiful name is Edonu Emmanuel. I'm a final year law student at Uganda Christian University. For purposes of record, I also serve at the national level as the speaker to the Uganda National Students Association.
Did you hear that?
I am proud to be next to her. I'm proud.
Some of you have to make appointments, book appointments to meet the speaker.
Yes, and she's the former speaker of the guild government as well.
Yes, and thank you.
He has more posts to say, but let's
No,
stop
A lot
here.
of
let's keep it
them,
at
yes.
that.
But my point here is that you are leaders and you're
Yes.
inspiring other people to become leaders like you. And
yes.
so I look forward to having more young people coming forward and showing interest in taking up leadership positions, because God has put us in this position in such a time as this for a purpose. So don't sit on your gifting, don't sit on that deep desire that is inside you. You can also be something that you're dreaming of becoming. And that's why we get to have Timothy, Mr. Ddumba Timothy, who became president, became a first class student. And he had a very good, what number were you in the university, Timothy?
What do you mean? I graduated as a best male student.
Best male. Can you imagine? The best male student and at the same time a president. So you can be all of these things. All you need is to try. Do you
Thank
have
you. Hello, madam. We have lost you. It seems we're having a technical problem on the side with madam, but we are so humbled and delighted to host the 25th Guild President by the Timothy, to let you know that some of the things you advocated for in your government, the installation of the CCTV cameras, the project is ongoing, and I'm delighted to inform you that it's yielding off. Yeah, you yeah. I'm
Wonderful. Thank you
over
so
the
much.
over the weekend installations were happening, and of course, you know, it's a gradual process. It's not something that
Yes.
comes once, but even the refurbishing of the halls of residence are
Yes.
take shape. And for me, I'm here to say thank you for the good work. Yeah,
Uh, thank you. I see
I
you're
can see
still
that.
serving.
I can see that the
That's still
bright smile
happening.
on your face. You
Ah,
are excited.
yeah.
Yeah.
Warms my
So
heart.
we lost Madame. I think when she gets back, she'll give us her parting shots. But Desire, how was this engagement today?
It was a very beautiful engagement. Who am I that I get to interview the former guild president, a best male student? I'm honored, really. It's been a good experience. Even me myself, I've learned a lot. I've picked from you. Thank you for that. And I hope that this is going to inspire someone else out there.
True. I'm inspired. I won't lie to you. I'm inspired. I've picked a few things from today's conversation. I might not get the first class.
You've already
Yes.
apologized in advance.
Yes. I want it on record. I might not get the first class, but
At least you got it last semester.
yes, I tried. I only got it for one semester.
Yes.
But this means a lot. Like most times people underlook most times people underlook these two things, like academics and leadership, but they move hand in hand. They move hand in hand. Of course, I don't have bad grades. I just also want to encourage someone outside there that good leaders are good readers.
Yes.
Yeah, good readers are good readers, because it's been said, it's a precedent that we have set here at Uganda Christian University. I remember in your government, Ddumba Timothy, we had Owen Muzaura was a Minister of Internal Affairs, together
Minister
also
of ICT.
MP School of Business. He had a first class. Then we had the Deputy Prime Minister, Musa
Yes.
Semakula. He also had a first
Yes.
class.
Even the Minister of Finance then got a first class.
Yes, Lydia,
Yes.
Natasha. You're forgetting
many.
also the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. That is
Tasha.
Tasha.
No,
No,
Precious.
Precious also got a first class.
Also, Minister for Presidency, who was the best student
Yes.
in her graduation.
Together with Dismas,
Yes.
Honorable
Yes.
Dismas. Yes.
And
Yes.
Ijana.
So you might be there and you want to be a leader. Let me tell you, you must have grades also. They speak magnitudes to your leadership journey. You can't just be a leader and
So we
your
have,
grades are not speaking about you.
I think Dessa is back.
She's back?
Yes.
Oh, she's back. Well, Dessa, you are still sharing with us. And
Oh
I
yeah,
think that
apologies. My connection was a bit rebellious, for lack of a better word. But
we are glad you're back, please.
it needs great masters of internet and all these digital things like our president here to come here and do something
I
miraculous.
can do all things. I can do all
I
things.
know you can fix it all up.
He's
But
fascinated by
thank
technology.
you
You know
so
that.
much. Yes. Thank you so much, Timothy, for making that time. We shall call you again. We will need to have more insightful conversations with you. And I want to thank Emmanuel and Desire for also hosting. Thank you so much. For the people who will be seeing this, please like, comment, share this, circulate it to your friends. Don't be selfish. You need to share a good thing. This is Ddumba Timothy's testimony. Don't be selfish. Just dispatch it. Let others see and learn and be great like this young man here. Otherwise, thank you and may the Lord bless you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
so much, Madam, for sharing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our session for today. It's been me, Edonu Emmanuel, together with
Isaiah Kobzar.
This is the Empowered, an initiative that ensures that you have professional growth and personal growth. Till we meet again, bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.